Yeah, peace of mind I couldn't find that. Judge my flaws, you're dead inside. Dead, can't believe you got in my head. Won't forget what you said to me. Living like a bad dream on repeat. Trying to destroy my identity. Don't care what they say, I'm in love with me.
Hi, this is Deborah Danielson. I am the host of the Rebel Podcast. My co-host is Waylon Kearney. And we are excited because spring is just around the corner. Forward, I wanted to talk about getting ready for going outside and enjoying the outdoor life and being strong and being fit. If you're anything like me, you do everything you can to try to be well and to try to take good care of your health. Or you may be saying, well, it's almost springtime, I gotta lose some weight or I gotta do something to feel better. One of the things I've recently done after going in for my last checkup, I found out that I have osteoporosis. This, of course, is not good, but there are things now that we have available to deal with this. And if you're like me, you would like to try a natural path versus trying to take the drugs with different side effects. And because my body is very, very sensitive, I almost always have side effects. So one of the biggest side effects to the drug that the doctor recommended for me was necrosis, where they would have a possibility of the bone in the jawline actually dying. Well, that doesn't sound good to me. So I've recently started a program with a company called OsteoStrong. And OsteoStrong is a program that makes very excellent use of hydraulic resistance machines. So it's very similar to going to the gym and working out. But these are hydraulic resistance machines that are designed very specifically to increase bone and to make a trigger in the process of pushing and lifting these resistant exercises to actually trigger new bone growth. There's some people that are very skeptical, one being my doctor, but I have been doing this for 4 months, and I can honestly tell you that I feel amazingly better and healthier and stronger. I have seen quite a difference in my day-to-day strength, my day-to-day energy level, and just overall how I feel. So there's been many, many studies on the OsteoStrong method, and there's 5 machines that I typically get on. It's 10 to 15 minutes a week, once a week. So it's not like you're in the gym. It's not like you're paying high fees and doing all these things. Some insurance companies may cover the program, some may not. That would be something you would have to cover with your doctor and you would have to cover with your insurance provider. But basically, studies have shown a statistically significant improvement of BMD in the lumbar, spine, and TBS in people with osteoporosis treated with OsteoStrong. And that's exactly what I have. So my bone scan density covered from my waist down. And so the exercises I'm doing, though, are not only for the waist down, but they're also for the upper body. So the OsteoStrong method may have a synergistic effect with anti-osteoporotic medication, and it can significantly reduce bone fracture risk. So that's really, really important. I want to be very active. I want to be able to do cool things and enjoy traveling, and I want to be able to work and to have a great life. I don't want to be struggling and in a wheelchair and just trying to get through day to day and walk with with pain. I want to be free of that. So the thing about OsteoStrong, it impacts the entire body in many ways using a process that is known as osteogenic loading. In just 10 minutes a week, you can increase strength and bone density, improve your posture, balance, and athletic performance. The sessions are very quick, they're painless, and results are measurable and happen quickly. So every machine I get on once a week, there is a graphic that is displayed and it shows me exactly what I do every single week. There's a graphic that depicts where I have to hit to trigger bone growth. And this is not only for the legs, but the arms and your core. I gotta tell you, it's very intense, but nothing hurts. It's not like going to a gym and being a weightlifter. What they found in the study for the people who have developed this program that has been significantly researched, the two groups of people that do not have bone loss and osteoporosis like the rest of the population are weightlifters and gymnasts. So what both of those groups typically do when they're working out, they're very intense and they're loading a lot of weight on their bones. When you go in for the 10 to 15 minute, I'm kind of toward the 15-minute because they also have this platform that vibrates, and I get on that before and I get on that after I go through my session. But it just really feels good, and it feels like it's kind of loosening things up to open up the pathways in the body to make my workout the most effective. But having worked out in a real gym and lifting weights for over 20 years, I can tell you that this takes way less time, it takes way less dedication. And when you go in for the sessions that are 10 to 15 minutes once a week, basically when you trigger the bone growth on each one of those exercises, that trigger lasts for 9 days. So you can definitely feel the energy level in your body coming up. You can feel your strength coming up. You're able to stand and hold your posture. You're able to stand on your feet longer, and you just have more energy. And it does affect your attitude too. It's incredible. One of the other things I love about OsteoStrong, it's not just the machines that you get on, and it's not just about that, but what's really cool is that they have a thing called a biocharger, and you're gonna see how it will transmit electricity right through your body, and what it does is it plumps up your cells. You need cells to be plump and healthy and well nourished in order to get the maximum amount of energy. They put me on 2 different ones I tried out, and I loved it. So the biocharger I was on, basically I was on there for inflammation, and I was only on for half of a treatment because I kind of busted in on somebody else's treatment. I was on for inflammation, which did make a big difference, by the way. My big one was I wanted to get on for cognition, for the brain, and being able to think, recall, remember. And I can honestly tell you that after that treatment, which was only 5 minutes, I came out of there feeling like I had 12 vitamin B shots, vitamin B12, you know, the mood boosters. It made me so happy. So for almost 4 days, I was happy, I was laughing, and that's amazing in the middle of wintertime when it's dark and cloudy and you can't go outside. So I highly recommend that if you've been recently diagnosed with osteopenia, or osteoporosis, or if that kind of runs in your family genetically, or you see that you're shrinking in height, I would highly recommend you checking out OsteoStrong. They have different light therapies. They have different, like I said, the biocharger. They offer several other wonderful health-related, natural path kind of treatments versus taking drugs. And I was very surprised at how efficient it is. So I just pay one fee a month. It's $162, I believe. And it just comes out automatically. And I would rather do that than go and buy prescription drugs and have possible side effects that would really limit or change the quality of my life. I'm going to do a 12-month tryout. That way, I've got a full spectrum of exercise, I've got a full spectrum of nutrition, and now I can see the results. I will definitely go back and get another bone scan and have demonstrable, real proof of what the work of 15 minutes a week can do to boost my health. So now sit back and listen to Waylon and I as we discuss the biocharger. I went in and I had it's called a booster charger. So
Okay.
it puts me in mind of Star Trek. So it's this thing that sits in the middle of a round table and it glows and it vibrates and it puts out waves at different frequency levels. Hold on to, this is so cool. This is the nerd coming out of me, okay? So I held on to a fluorescent light, just a tube, just the bulb. Okay, it wasn't plugged in. So just to prove that this thing was emitting all these rays, I took the fluorescent tube and I held it, I pointed it at the booster charger. And then I put this arm here like this. And then it glowed, it lit up. And then just to demonstrate how your body conducts energy, I put it in the other hand and I put this hand toward the mood booster. And the electricity went through this hand, went over here, and the bulb lit up at the other end. So it went right across me. So what it does is when you have cells in your body for inflammation, memory, cognitive abilities, all different kinds of ailments, but you just notice something going south, like blood sugar. You can sit in front of this machine and tune it to a particular wavelength that actually scientifically has been proven to affect that particular situation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I sat there and I did inflammation because that was already going and there were people there and I thought, well, hell, why not? Let's try that.
Well, everyone has, yeah, it's like it's chronic now
Yeah,
in our
everybody does.
yeah.
So then I said, well, I want to do the cognition for the brain. And I came out of there feeling like so happy. I mean, yeah, so I have like seasonal depression with the lack of light. Well, I went in there and I'm like, coming out of there after 5 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, I feel happy. I feel like joking and laughing and I
Oh,
haven't,
that sounds great.
yeah, I haven't forgotten too many words either.
No. No, everybody, I mean, that could benefit so many people, especially this time of year in, in Nebraska and Iowa, where it's so cold and so dark in the winter and just dreary and
Below zero
yeah. Yeah.
sucks.
Like I always people ask me here why I moved to Palm Springs or why I moved to the desert. And I'm like, well, if you've ever been to Nebraska, you lose about, 3 to 4 months of your life every year just stuck in your house and miserable and, depressed because it's so dreary and cold and you can't do anything. And,
Yes,
you know,
that's the whole problem. I think the ability to just go outside
yeah,
is huge.
just any time of year to be able to go outside. It gets really hot here in the summer, but every morning I could still go for a walk or a run and beautiful, like, the most beautiful spring day is every morning here.
And
So
at night, the desert is so beautiful.
yeah, with the stars, and especially here because you can't they they've banned a lot of light pollution, so there's not a lot of street lights. You can see the stars from wherever you are in Palm
Oh,
Springs, you know. It's just
wonderful.
gorgeous. I
Well,
agree.
enjoy that. Thank you for being on the podcast with me today. It's been really delightful.
Thank you. Yeah, I loved it. Well, I'm excited for our talk next time. Learn
Yeah.
all about these machines and things, scientific breakthroughs.
Introducing the biocharger. Spock would love this. I'm sure he would connect with it. And I loved it too. So here's a little bit more about the biocharger and how it helps. Well, today I'm standing by this biocharger, and this is a fluorescent light like you have in your house. And you can see that it's emitting enough energy to light this. But this biocharger is really good for your health. Right now, I am getting biocharged for cognition, for memory, and to see if we can get my brain like supercharged to think, recall, and be more sharp. So watch this. Your body actually conducts electricity. So you see the tube is lit up. It's literally the energy is coming through my hand, going through my chest, and coming out the other end. Isn't that pretty exciting? I probably will glow in the dark tonight. I'm really excited to be over here at OsteoStrong. I started this journey because I have osteoporosis, believe it or not. And I'm far too young to have osteoporosis, in my opinion. But my doctor gave me an option of being able to do pharmaceuticals or do something natural. And because a lot of the pharmaceuticals taken for osteoporosis or osteopenia have negative side effects, one being necrosis of the jaw, which means your jawbone actually dies, and there's many other side effects. I chose not to go that path. I want to do more of a naturopathic journey here, and my friends are helping me do this. And I'm so glad that this place opened up in Omaha, Nebraska. And maybe you have an OsteoStrong in your area, but they offer many different things besides just building bone and muscle kind of stuff, you know, strength, endurance kind of stuff. But they offer the biocharger to help with several different things. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So the biocharger can help to charge your cells. So cellular charge is extremely important for our bodies to fight off inflammation, infection, and also help to prevent chronic disease. With a cell, it needs to be charged between 70 and 90 millivolts, and that is considered a healthy cell. Anything less than that is kind of when chronic disease can start to set in, and anything less than 50 millivolts can be considered cancerous. So it's really important for our cells to have that charge, and typically we would get that charge from outside, but due to our environment, and as you may see right now, we currently have some snow on the ground, and it is, I think, less than 10 degrees outside, so we are not outside. We are not outside as much as we should be to charge our cells up. So this helps to charge those cells in a natural way inside, and it uses 4 essential elements, frequencies and harmonics, light, voltage, and then pulse electromagnetic frequencies as well. So all very good for you.
And you know, I'm already feeling happier, even though it's gloomy and I've been locked in the house for 5 days. I actually feel very happy being around this biocharger. I do really think it's affecting my mood. The more I sit here, actually the happier I get. So, well done. Scientific breakthroughs that do work actually, and they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then what's really like an unexpected thing yesterday was I'm sitting there and, you know, I'm just like thinking about how in the world this looks so much like being on the Star Trek Enterprise and Captain Kirk's got to come in any moment, right?
Uh-huh. You're getting beamed up.
there's all these people that are there and they're all sitting around and you're like, wow, everybody's fascinated by this stuff. This is pretty interesting. So you meet people and you get to talk about technology and what it's doing for them. And it's like, wow, this is really cool.
How did you find this thing?
So I went in to see my doctor for my annual checkup, and he goes, well, it's that time, Deborah, to do a bone scan. I'm like, yeah, well, I can already tell you what it's going to tell, when you do it. And of course, it came back that I had osteoporosis. And so I'm not horrible. It's just like a minus 2.7. So he goes, well, we're going to put you on this drug. And I go, wait a minute, drug. And he goes, yeah, you have to do this, I think twice a year, once a quarter or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I said, so wait a minute, what are the side effects? Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Necrosis of the jaw. I
Oh my
got
God.
break that down. And he goes, the bone here dies. And I'm like, so you want me to take a drug that's going to cause me to have, there's horrible side effects. There's, cancers, there's all kinds of things, right? But necrosis there's been a high incident of that. I'm like, no. So I was playing solitaire. I came home, I was depressed. I called up Barbara Evans, Janelle's mom. I'm like, what the hell? And so she's telling me what she's been doing. She actually took the shot that helps you build more. It does help you build more bones, but in some people, and me, because I'm allergic to everything, I'm like super cautious. So anyway, we were talking and talking about dietary things and eating more cheese, blah, blah, blah. So I was sitting there playing solitaire after talking to her and being all upset. And and she kept encouraging me. So all of a sudden, here comes up this little ad about OsteoStrong. And so I go in and I look at it, and it's all research that the scientists have done for decades, where there's two classes of people that don't have osteoporosis or osteopenia. And that is weightlifters and gymnasts. And so they looked at the stress that they put on their bones. And when you put stress on your bones repeatedly, it causes your bones to trigger growth.
To be stronger. Yeah.
So I go in there and I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it because it's sure better than having all these horrible side effects. So I've been on it since, I think, late November, early December. And every time you go in for a 15-minute visit. And then when you come back a week later, you do another 15 minutes on these machines. There's 5 machines, 15 minutes total. Then they vibrate you. You have to get on this platform and you vibrate. I'm like, what
Oh
the
yeah.
heck? Why
I've done that.
am
Yeah.
I vibrating? And it
Well, why
actually
not?
good for you.
Yeah.
Does. It shakes stuff up and it wakes it up and makes it move and regenerate.
Hmm.
So you can actually watch your bone density and bone, I guess, triggering start working. You can actually watch it. And so yesterday when I went in and did it, because when my body's triggering and building, it feels like it's functioning on all cylinders, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
And when it's not functioning on all cylinders, I feel exhausted. I hit all new levels yesterday. I hit the highest levels I've had since I've been going there. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, today for
I've done the Vibra thing with red light therapy
yeah,
combined with that. I really like that. It kind of makes your whole body feel firmer, like your muscles and everything.
us.
It just Yeah, and your skin. Oh,
Sit in-
sorry, what were you gonna say?
I think I'm gonna go sit in my infrared sauna today because oh my God, that makes me feel good.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, and especially this time of year when it's so fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like you gotta do that just
And
to
then,
feel normal.
and then what were you gonna say?
Oh, I got one of those LED. Have you seen those masks with the neck attachment?
Yeah.
So I got one of those. I've only used it a couple times, but it has different light settings. Like there's one that's like a white light, one that's orange or amber, one that's red. And the a couple of them are like awesome. Like they really like make your skin glow. And
Well, your,
so
your skin looks really healthy.
thank you. Yeah. I feel like it's hard to tell because you see yourself every day, but it's like I feel like it looks pretty good. I don't know.
It looks really glowing and fresh. It looks moisturized. I mean, you look really good.
Thanks. I'm trying to keep it going. You gotta look
Gotta.
when you're trying to sell something, you gotta so
And
trying to
let's
keep it going.
and let's face it, people buy from people they like and they buy from people they admire. And I think that you are a really good sales professional because you have so many things that people admire about you. And just the knowledge that you're sharing about the historic significance of these properties. I mean, that is wonderful.
Oh, thanks. I love doing them. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing is doing those videos. Just, being able to point out stuff and doing like showing the old images of them side by
Yeah.
side with like the new. I've
Thank you for watching the Rebel Podcast. We hope you enjoyed learning more about OsteoStrong and taking better care of your health and what you can do to be in charge of osteoporosis or osteopenia. Please like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy more of the Rebel Podcast with your friends.